Your attention, please. Shh. May I have your attention, please? For all those that are participating with us today, all members of the public that want to view the hearing, please take a walk upstairs to the balcony. The sitting on the floor is for staff only, so if you're here witnesses the meeting today, you're welcome to join us at the balcony. Sergeants, please start all recordings. Please silence all electronic devices. Sir, ready to go.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the stated meeting of November 22nd, 2022. I'm Majority Leader Keith Powers. I'd like to thank everyone for joining us here today. If you'd like to follow along, the agenda for today's meeting is posted on the City Council website.
Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Roll call.
Abreu.
Present.
Ariola.
Here.
Aviles.
Presente.
Ayala.
Here.
Barron.
Here.
Botcher.
Here.
Brannan.
Here.
Brewer.
Here.
Brooks Powers.
Here.
Caban.
Present.
Carr. De La Rosa.
Here.
Dinowitz.
Here.
Farias.
Present.
Felice.
Here.
Gennaro.
Here.
Gutierrez.
Presente.
Hanif.
Here.
Hanks.
Here.
Holden.
Here.
Hudson.
Present.
Joseph.
Present.
Kagan.
Here.
Krishnan.
Here.
Lee.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Marte. Mealy.
Present.
Menon.
Here.
Moya.
Here.
Narcisse.
Présent.
Nurse. Osei.
Here.
Palladino.
Here.
Wrestler.
Here.
Richardson Jordan.
Present.
Riley.
Present.
Rivera.
Present.
Salamanca. Sanchez. Shulman.
Here.
Stevens.
Apologies, Sanchez present.
Thank you, Councilmember.
Here.
Thank you, Councilmember. Ung. Velasquez.
Present.
Vernikoff.
Here.
Carr. Williams. Juan.
Present.
Yeager.
Here.
Borelli. Powers.
I'm here.
Speaker Adams.
I am also here.
I'm glad to know we're all here. Thank you. We'll now have today's invocation, which will be delivered by Rabbi David Niederman of the United Jewish Organization of Williamsburg in North Brooklyn, located at 32 Penn Street in Brooklyn.
Madam Speaker and honorable members of the City Council, your work is so important and very much appreciated. May Hashem, the Almighty, shine His light on all of you in this chamber who represent all New Yorkers to succeed and in all your endeavors. At the end of this week, we'll be entering the Jewish month of Kislev, in which we celebrate Hanukkah, when the Maccabees prevailed over the Greeks. It is also a month when we celebrate the rescue from Bergen-Belsen, Germany, of the Grand Rabbi Joel Teitelbaum of Satmar of blessed memory, who was central to the rebirth of the Orthodox Jewish community in New York after losing 6 million Jews by the Nazis. Sadly, however, 3 years ago, the month of Kislev brought horrific tragedy to the Jewish community in New York and New Jersey. On December 10, 2019, gunmen entered the Hasidic Jersey City kosher supermarket and opened fire. At the end of the rampage, 4 beautiful, innocent people were killed, including a young Williamsburg resident who volunteered to the UJO, Moshe Katz. During that month, a machete-wielding man entered the rabbi's house in Monsey, attacked and injured many people, and sadly, one of them died. This past weekend, we are reminded again of the threat of hate-driven violence against the Jewish community. Friday night, law enforcement learned of imminent danger by 2 armed anti-Semites. Thanks to the vigilance and diligent action by the NYPD, the FBI, the MTA agents, they were intercepted at Penn Station on their way to kill people in the synagogue at Saturday night services. We are grateful to the mayor, the governor, and law enforcement agencies for being vigilant and proactive to protect the Jewish community. I specifically would want to thank the City Council and the Honorable Speaker Adams for funding initiatives and promoting policies against hate to protect all of our people. Your work is so important and so much appreciated. Thus, we pray to Hashem to bestow His blessing on the Speaker of the Council and upon all of its members, that you shall continue to use your energies to spread kindness, to keep our families safe, all of our communities secure, and to help all New Yorkers succeed in their eyes. So help us, Hashem. Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi Neiderman. Thank you for being with us today. I'm going to now ask Councilmember Lincoln Ressler to spread the invocation on the record.
Thank you, Majority Leader. I would like to thank the distinguished Rabbi David Niederman for being with us today. For 33 years, the great Rabbi David Niederman has been in charge of UJO of Williamsburg and North Brooklyn. There is no more noble, no more compassionate, no more altruistic community leader in District 33. Rabbi Niederman and his tremendous team, notably Sam Stern and David Katz, who are with us today, do a phenomenal job providing critical services and addressing the needs of the most vulnerable in our community. Together, we are fighting back against anti-Semitism and hate in all its forms. I feel profoundly fortunate to be Rabbi Niederman's partner and representative. I make a motion for unanimous consent to spread the invocation in full upon the record. Thank you, Rabbi Niederman.
Thank you, Councilmember Ressler. We'll now have adoption of minutes by Councilmember Amanda Farias.
I make a motion that the minutes of the stated meeting of October 27th, 2022 be adopted as printed.
Thank you. We'll go to messages and papers from the mayor.
M's 101 and 102, Public Design Commission appointments.
Rules, privileges, and elections.
Communication from city, county, and borough offices.
M103, New York City Comptroller Annual Report.
Received, ordered, printed, and filed.
Petitions and communications.
None.
Land use call-ups.
None.
Thank you. We'll now have communication from Speaker Adrian Adams.
Thank you, Majority Leader, and good afternoon to everyone. I'd like to start by thanking our Rabbi for the blessing today. And I'd like to thank all New Yorkers who voted in this past election. Congratulations to Governor Kathy Hochul for being the first woman elected to lead the state of New York. I look forward to continuing to work with her and Lieutenant Governor Antonio Delgado to advance our city and state. I also want to congratulate our own Senator Chuck Schumer for retaining his position as Senate Majority Leader. His outstanding leadership will continue to benefit not just our city, but the entire nation. Lastly, I want to thank Speaker Nancy Pelosi for her decades of leadership in the House of Representatives. Speaker Pelosi shattered glass ceilings and demonstrating what women's leadership can achieve for our country. We are grateful for her many years of dedicated public service as a legislative leader, and we are better for it. Today, I want to start by discussing the important work and achievement of this council to advance affordable housing as our city confronts a dire housing crisis. We have too few homes for New Yorkers, and that is felt the most by those who need affordable housing at the deepest levels. The affordable housing units we need the most are the least available. The New York City Housing and Vacancy Survey placed the vacancy rate for the lowest income apartments at less than 1%. The overall lack of housing is increasing housing costs and pressures on New Yorkers. We need hundreds of thousands more apartments with a focus on affordable units. The lack of affordable permanent housing is the underlying driver of our city's current level of homelessness, which rivals the Great Depression with over 60,000 New Yorkers left unhoused. We know this is likely an undercount, and that this crisis disproportionately harms Black and Latino New Yorkers. The council has an important role to play in helping to advance the development of affordable housing, and we've been contributing our part to advance these efforts by approving major housing development projects in our land use process. Yesterday, the council's land use committee voted to approve 4 land use applications in Brooklyn and Queens that will collectively produce nearly 6,000 new units of housing, 65% of which will be affordable. Over 2,000 of the housing units, 30%, would be deeply affordable for extremely or very low-income households. These approved projects are the types of major steps we need to take to address the housing crisis. Today, we will vote on the 2 largest projects, Innovation Queens and Innovative Urban Village. They are different in character, not only because of their distinct locations, but the details of financing, land use, and development teams. Yet they share a common feature. They push aggressive affordable housing development forward by demanding more of the administration and private developers by working with this council to advance affordable housing at deep levels. With Innovation Queens, this council prioritized the greatest housing needs of the city and community by prioritizing a deepening of affordability. With the land use and policy experts on our staff, we put forward an innovative approach to use City FEPS vouchers to increase affordability and address the challenges New Yorkers have faced in utilizing them to secure permanent housing. We pushed for the administration to work towards this and the developer to set aside market rates for New Yorkers with these rental housing vouchers. This is major, not only for this project and the local community, but from a citywide policy perspective. Innovative Village is a pivotal project in East New York by longtime neighborhood stakeholder Christian Cultural Center. It would create nearly 2,000 affordable housing units, 200 for senior housing and 100 homeownership opportunities. Over 1,100 rental units, or 60%, would be reserved for extremely or very low-income households, and the remaining 750 rental units would be set aside for low-income residents. 100 homeownership opportunities would be reserved for moderate-income households. The development would provide a range of additional community benefits, including a 24-hour, 7 days a week daycare, a cyber cafe, workforce training center, a fresh food grocery store, a performing arts center, publicly accessible open space, shuttle service to subway stations, and resilient and sustainable features. Yesterday was a prime example of this body's leadership on housing. Members understand the scale of this housing crisis because our communities are facing it. We hear about their housing challenges in our communities day in and day out. This council is on the cusp of approving over 40 land use applications since January 2022, creating over 12,000 total housing units, with over 63% of them designated as affordable, to provide nearly 8,000 affordable apartments for New Yorkers. This is the type of bold action that our city needs to address this crisis, and I'm proud that we're stepping up to meet the moment. We must continue to lead, and I'm confident that this body will play a major part in the effort to address New Yorkers' housing needs. I'll have more to say on housing issues facing New York City in the coming weeks, but today, I'm proud of this body and the work our members and staff have done to understand the gravity of our challenge and are willing to confront it. I thank the council members who represent the districts where the land use applications we are approving today are located, as well as the members who have similarly advanced such projects throughout this year to develop more affordable housing. There are also partners in government who have played important roles in working with us, and I want to thank them as well. And finally, I want to make sure to thank the staff of our Council Land Use Division, who provide members with the expertise and guidance to make this work happen. Paris Straughter, Chelsea Kelly, Brian Paul, Arthur Huh, Angelina Martez Rubio, James Catone, Ryan Cote, Tim Anderson, Julia Ehrman, Andrew Lassiter, Caitlin Greer, Sandy Nicholas, Maria Salbavaro, and Bridget James. Thank you all so much for your tireless efforts and expertise. In helping this council advance projects that deliver housing for thousands of New Yorkers and meet the needs of communities by supporting our ability to negotiate for our constituents. And before I continue, I want to take a moment also to acknowledge the loss of 7 New Yorkers who died while on the job over the past month. We are so very saddened by each of their deaths, and we send our condolences to their families and loved ones during this difficult time. 2 days ago, we observed Trans Day of Remembrance, which honors those whom we've lost to anti-trans violence. It also marks the end of Trans Awareness Week, during which we highlight the visibility, experiences, and ongoing challenges facing trans communities. It is so important that we continue to recognize this week because in states across the country, government officials are taking actions that would actually harm trans people. Earlier this month, 2 Florida medical boards approved new rules that restrict children from receiving gender-affirming care to treat gender dysphoria. Other states have similarly turned to medical boards to limit or restrict access to gender-affirming care. This is egregious and wrong, and it will lead to people losing their lives. In this city, we remain focused on supporting and uplifting all LGBTQIA+ New Yorkers, and we will continue to prioritize their health, safety, and well-being. On December 1st, we will observe World AIDS Day, during which we reaffirm our steadfast commitment to support people living with HIV/AIDS and remember those we've lost to AIDS-related illnesses. Established in 1988, World AIDS Day serves as an important reminder about the importance of our united mission to eradicate HIV/AIDS. The fight is not yet over, but as a city, we will continue to stand strong in support of all people living with HIV/AIDS. Coming up on November 28th is Albanian Independence Day, and last night the council hosted a celebration of Albanian culture, heritage, and history right here in the council chambers. It was a wonderful event that highlighted the rich traditions of our Albanian communities, and I want to thank council members Carr, Felice, Holden, and Velasquez for helping to make it a very special evening. Thank you, council members. And as we celebrate Thanksgiving in the next few days, I hope everyone has a happy and safe holiday spent with your loved ones. I'm thankful for all of you all of you, and the hard work that you and your teams, your staff, your incredible staff have done to serve the people of this city. Don't forget to shop small on Small Business Saturday and donate to your favorite charities on Giving Tuesday. And finally, please join me in wishing a happy belated birthday to Council members Kevin Riley and Keith Powers, whose birthday was on the 16th. And a happy birthday to Councilmember Eric Dinowitz, who celebrated his birthday yesterday. I hope you all had a really good time celebrating with your families. Now let's move on to our stated agenda. Today, we're voting on several legislative, finance, and land use items. We'll be voting on the following finance items. Introduction 798, sponsored by Council members Justin Brannan, Farrah Lewis, Kristen Richardson Jordan, and Diana Ayala by request of the mayor. Will authorize an increase in the amount to be expended annually in the 125th Street and Dumbo Business Improvement Districts. A preconsidered resolution sponsored by Councilmember Justin Brannan authorizes an Article 11 tax exemption for 12 buildings with a total of 251 residential units in South Williamsburg. And lastly, a transparency resolution approving new designations and changes of certain organizations receiving funding in the expense budget. We will be voting on the following land use items. The SCA site selection of a 252-seat early childhood center in Councilmember Hanks' district. 78-18 164th Street rezoning, an application that will bring an existing non-conforming medical laboratory into conformance with zoning. The council will modify the boundary of the proposed C2-3 overlay by limiting it to the 164th Street frontage in Councilmember Gennaro's district. Innovative Urban Village will facilitate development of 11 new mixed-use buildings with 1,975 affordable residential units, ground floor commercial area, a performing arts center, residential and public parking, and open space surrounding the existing Christian Cultural Center House of Worship in Councilmember Barron's district. Innovation Queens, applications to facilitate development of a large-scale mixed-use development with over 3,100 housing units in 13 buildings ranging in height from 8 to 27 stories and over 2 acres of publicly accessible open space in Councilmember Wan's district in Astoria, Queens. As negotiated by the council, the project will be comprised of approximately 45% affordable units, as the applicant and administration have agreed to incorporate the development of HPD-financed affordable housing buildings and City FEPS vouchers in addition to the requirements of MIH Option 1. The updated project includes significant changes that deliver major housing and community benefits for residents of the area. It doubles the initial commitment of affordable units from 700 to 11 units to from 711 units to 1,436 affordable units. It increases deeply affordable housing at an unprecedented scale in the neighborhood, providing 825 deeply affordable apartments for extremely or very low-income households, dedicates affordable housing units for the formerly unhoused, and sets aside units that were previously market rate for extremely low-income people with City FEPS rental vouchers, and finally, it secures community benefits that include a $2 million commitment towards legal services to protect neighboring tenants from housing displacement, discrimination, and harassment. This project was a major priority for me and this city to get done in the right way, and I'm very proud for how it advanced. Finally, we will vote on the following pieces of legislation. First, Introduction 525B, sponsored by Councilmember Gail Brewer, would require that any secondhand dealer purchasing a used catalytic converter must first obtain information from the seller about the vehicle the catalytic converter was removed from, which demonstrates that the seller either owns the vehicle or was authorized to remove the catalytic converter in connection with a repair. In addition, the purchaser would be required to determine if the catalytic converter presented is consistent with the identified vehicle. The purchaser would be required to hold records of this information for at least 6 years and make them available to law enforcement in real time. Thank you to our staff, Rachel Cordero and Joshua Kingsley. Next, Introduction 610A, sponsored by Councilmember Eric Botcher, would require the Department of Education to distribute information to students annually regarding suicide prevention, including information about the new national 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline number, suicide warning signs and risk factors, and other suicide prevention resources. We thank our staff, Smita Deshmukh, Sarah Liss, Malcolm Buthorn, and Nadia Jean-Francois. Next, Introduction 609A, sponsored by Deputy Speaker Diana Ayala, would require the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene to establish a year-long pilot program to offer financial incentives for the return of used needles, syringes, and sharps at locations in the 5 council districts with the highest need. The program would only be open to individuals who use needles, syringes, or sharps for non-medical reasons. Lastly, Introduction 404A, sponsored by our Mental Health, Disabilities, and Addiction Committee Chair, Councilmember Linda Lee, would require DOHMH or another agency designated by the mayor to report on funds allocated to the city through the opioid settlement sharing agreement with the state, or any agreement with an opioid supply chain participant. The report must be made within 30 days of the release of each city financial plan or update, and would disclose the total amount of opioid funds, where the funds are being sent, the number of New Yorkers benefiting from the funds, and anticipated appropriation of the funds broken down by fiscal year. We thank our staff once again, Smita Deshmukh, Sarah Liss, Sarah Suker, and Christy Dwyer. I also want to say welcome back to Councilmember Julie Menin. Glad to see you in good health. Welcome back, Councilmember. And I would like to greet the mother of our General Counsel, Jeffrey Campagna. If she is here today, I'm told that your mom is somewhere, Jeff. So welcome to Jeff's mom today if she's here. Thank you for your attention. Now I'd like to turn it back into the hands of our Majority Leader.
Thank you, and welcome to Jeff's mom. He does a great job up here. I just want to let you know that. Thank you, Speaker Adams. We'll now move to discussions of general orders. We're going to start with Councilmember Wan.
Thank you so much, Majority Leader. From day one, I've stood with my community in demanding deeper affordability from Innovation Queens. When developers first certified this project, it was a majority luxury development that offered the minimum 25% affordability on private land. But because we held the line, the Innovation Queens project has now doubled the affordable units from 711 to 1,436 affordable units, as well as doubling the number of family-sized units that are affordable from 284 to 554. In our negotiations, I never compromised on the level of affordability at MIH Option 1, as well as prioritizing low-income units and extremely low-income units for formerly homeless, as these homes have to be accessible to the current residents of my neighborhood, immigrants, working-class families, and our growing number of unhoused neighbors. As a result, we have secured a project with unprecedented private investment that will deliver 1,436 permanent affordable homes, including 658 deeply affordable units for formerly homeless and extremely low-income New Yorkers. And within that, we also have 142 supportive housing units, 157 rental voucher units, specifically for those currently in our shelter system. Right now, my very neighborhood, I have 6,600 homeless people, and we know how important it is during this homeless crisis, where we have more than 56,000 homeless New Yorkers, to make sure that we are building for them. We will no longer, in my district, allow luxury development to outpace the development of affordable units. I am proud to have negotiated other immense gains for our community, including $2 million for anti-harassment and anti-displacement legal fund to make sure that those who are in fear of displacement are protected. And we have also made sure that we converted 600 parking spaces to affordable housing. And we also have assistance for current residents and businesses for relocation, multilingual applications for assistance for affordable housing, and much more. So I thank all of our community members for organizing, advocating, as well as our council members for holding the line with me, and the speaker and the mayor for allowing us to get to where we are today, because we would not have accomplished what many have said is impossible in private land without all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, and congratulations, Councilmember Wan. We'll now go to Councilmember Brewer.
Thank you very much. It's Intro 525. The speaker mentioned the catalytic converters, and according to the police and others, the theft of these converters, depending on who you ask, there are other statistics, is up 221% year-to-date, or even 269%, somewhere between almost 5,600 to over 7,000 thefts citywide. In Manhattan, it's up 199%, and in Staten Island, I don't know what's with Staten Island, 670%. So it's not just an economic problem, because it takes just 2 minutes to take out the converter. I've never done it, but 2 minutes is really quickly. The thieves resell the metals found inside the device to chop shops or on the black market. I don't like that term, but that's what it's sometimes called. Replacing that part can run a crime victim anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 for his or herself. So it's not just an economic problem, because you also have to call your insurance company, you got to find an auto repair shop, and you have to get the converter replaced. And then the other problem, which the speaker's had in her district, I've had in my district, is for whatever reason, the trucks that bring seniors and others food on a regular basis, all these great nonprofit organizations that have worked so hard to get vehicles, guess what? They get their catalytic converter theft experienced often. That means no food delivery for those seniors. And I've heard from many who've had this problem. So this bill will make it harder for thieves to resell stolen converters. It requires sellers of the catalytic converters to provide a vehicle ID number and a copy of the certificate of title. Sellers and buyers who fail to comply will be subject to fines. And in addition, any violation may be grounds for the suspension or revocation of a license for that business. The new requirements will destabilize, we hope, the activities of chop shops. Multiple local police precincts are also ramping up awareness. I've seen their flyers and I appreciate it. And just finally, we know the governor signed legislation which complements this in terms of figuring out how they can do some records and figuring out where they can have some
Thank you, Councilmember.
unique serial numbers. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilmember Brewer. And I go to Councilmember Barron.
Thank you very much, colleagues. I want to thank you for the support of the Urban Village project in my community. It's 100% affordable, 60% for the very low, and 40% affordable, as we define affordability for the income levels in our community. However, honesty constrains me to say, and maybe the council member couldn't say it herself, but what Councilmember Wan went through, none of you should have to
Please don't
go.
refer to another council member. You can speak about the topic, but don't make things against another council member.
What the council member that spoke before me said, that she went through a lot, well, before the council member, before that council member. In any event, the council member on the Queens project went through a lot. You are going to go through the same thing when you try to reach for affordability. That was only 55% she was talking about. But when it came to the subcommittee, she asked for more time because she needed more time. The speaker, no. And she had to go forth, and she didn't even show up to the meeting because she needed more time to negotiate it. But whether you like it or not, whether I get in trouble or not, the Queensborough president, pro-real estate, the speaker of this body.
Please don't make allegations against other council members. You can speak about the topic, but that's against the rules of the city council.
I didn't mention any names. There are pro-real estate people in this city. The speaker, the mayor, and the borough president of Queens. She went under a lot of pressure and went from 55% to 45%. And that is below, and they'll tell you when you go for your projects, we paid too much for the land. It won't be economically feasible. This is not an affordable project. We made a record. We usually get 25%, 30%. So I'll be voting no for this project on principle, but y'all beware, you could be next.
We'll now go to Councilmember Lee, followed by Councilmember Hanks.
Okay, good afternoon, Madam Speaker, Majority Leader, and my fellow council members. As chair of the Committee on Mental Health, Disabilities, and Addictions, it brings me great pride to introduce my first bill, Intro 404, which we'll be voting on today. Across our country, families are experiencing the devastating effects on the ongoing opioid overdose epidemic. In New York, the latest data shows that one New Yorker dies of an opioid overdose every 3 hours. So let that sink in, every 3 hours, with more New Yorkers dying of drug overdoses than homicides, suicides, and motor vehicle crashes combined. Opioids are involved in more than 88% of all overdose deaths, and the manufacturers of these deadly opioids profited at the expenses of families here in New York City. Intro 404 will require DOHMH to track and report on the funds secured for New York City by New York State Attorney General Letitia James from settlements with opioid manufacturers and distributors. Reporting will include a running total of the funds, where and how they are being spent, and a timeline of when this crucial funding for our city will be depleted. While no amount of money could ever bring back those we have lost or repair the damage to lives that were affected, our city deserves clarity and transparency on how this vital funding will be spent so that we can understand the reasons for drug use and misuse, prevent addiction, and create measures that incorporate preventative care and resources. I encourage my colleagues to support Intro 404, and I want to thank my staff, and especially Council Committee staff, specifically Sarah Sucher, Christy Dwyer, and Sarah Liss, my colleagues on the Committee on Mental Health, Disabilities, and Addictions, and the leadership of Speaker Adrienne Adams for helping me bring this important legislation to the floor. Thank you.
Thank you. Now we'll hear from Councilmember Hanks.
Thank you, Madam Speaker Adams, Majority Leader Powers. Today I wanted to express my support for the land use item concerning the new 252-seat Early Childhood Center facility proposed by the New York City School Construction Authority. As our populations keep growing and changing, we are seeing an increased need for children of all ages to have a safe, reliable, and high-quality options as they enter the educational system. I look forward to having this land use item pass and ensuring that the children in my district have an advanced, well-rounded space in which to begin their educational journeys for generations to come. Thank you so much, and join me in supporting this item.
Thank you. Do we have any other members signed up to speak at this time? Okay, we'll move to the report of special committees.
None.
Reports of standing committees.
Report of the Committee on Consumer and Worker Protection, Intro 525B, Catalytic Converters.
Amended and coupled on general orders.
Report of the Committee on Education, Intro 610A, Suicide and Crisis Lifeline.
Amended and coupled on general orders.
Report of the Committee on Finance, Intro 789, Business Improvement Districts.
Coupled on general orders.
Preconsidered Reso 388, Transparency Resolution.
Coupled on general orders.
Preconsidered LU 147 and Reso 398, Property Tax Exemption.
Coupled on general orders.
Report of the Committee on Land Use, LU 126 through LU 134 on page 8, Innovation Queens.
Approved with modifications and referred to the City Planning Commission pursuant to Section 197 of the New York City Charter.
LU 135 through LU 138, Livonia 4.
Approved with modifications and referred to the City Planning Commission pursuant to Section 197 of the New York City Charter.
LU 139 and Reso 399, and LU 140 and Reso 400, 1571 McDonald Avenue rezoning.
Coupled to be filed pursuant to letter of withdrawal.
LU 141 and Reso 40